Welcome to Hidden Squidz Gaming. Today's party composition is going to be a hellion, an abomination, a jester, and a houndmaster, so let's get to it. I'm really not a fan of abominations. I'm going to be upfront about this. I try to use them. I actually don't transform them at all, so if you're waiting for that big moment where he transforms, I'm sorry, it just doesn't happen. And here you're going to see me just figure out, which bad quirk I want to get rid of, which negative quirk. I got rid of the yips, which is pretty cool. Here's our first fight. I'm kind of lucky that I have two heavily armored individuals because we can DOT them out with the blight and the bleed, which is really cool, which means I don't have to spend a lot of time physically attacking them. The abomination is going to show his worth right away by adding some blight to finish off that plated maggot. I get a surprise on these stingers, which is really nice, so that damage is also going to finish them. This is a veteran dungeon, so it means obviously it's not a champion level, so it's the second hardest. All the enemies in here don't have the champion level health, but they're still pretty hard. If you're wondering why I don't have a lot of trinkets and stuff, this is actually on my new playthrough. That first fight went pretty well, especially with the surprise. It was quite easy. I didn't take a lot of damage. We had some nice blight and DOT damage coming out from everybody. The hellion has bleed, the jester has bleed, the houndmaster has bleed, obviously. The abomination has blight, so all that stack damage and physical damage bursted through those four enemies when we had that surprise opportunity, and we took advantage of it. That's a good dodge to start off, and that's also another great dodge. This party works fairly well together. There's not a lot of strong heals, so the fact that I didn't get hit is really nice because I didn't have any good way to get health back. And once again, we're going to add that beast bile just to add that tick off so we can take care of the shocker. And now we got to watch out for the incoming blades. Only 6 damage on the lower end of the damage they can do, which is nice. I'm going to ballad because I actually want the stinger to disappear with dot damage rather than dying and creating a corpse. Because I need to bring forward that stealth individual so we can hit him with future harvest and future beast bile. Now that they're guarded, that's kind of annoying, but we do have stuns on the abomination to get rid of that. Once again, I'm going to ballad because I need that stinger to die. I'm kind of holding out on it. I'm going to manacles the wide mouth or the piranha swordsman because he's actually the highest damage dealer, and as I said before, I can heal stress damage, but I can't actually heal physical damage. So in this situation, I said fine, the stinger hasn't gone yet, I'm going to stun the wide mouth. I'm going to Hound's Harry to hit everybody. I'm going to add some bleed if I can. There goes the wide mouth or the swordsman. And now we're just going to focus fire on the bulwark right here protecting. If you're going to protect him, we're just going to add all the DOT abilities to you. The bulwark is dead next turn, so that's good news. But I'm going to have to finish him because there's nothing else I can really do. I manacles him to see if I can stun him. I do, which drops the guard. And now we can use all this power in our party to kill off the priest. That was actually a misclick there. You notice I did Battle Ballad and not Inspiring Tune. That is not a tactical choice I wanted to do. It was just a mistake. And another thing I could have done was also Adrenaline Rush because that actually would have healed my bleed on me. So those are two little mistakes back to back at the end there that I should have avoided. So I shouldn't be bleeding right now, and I should have less stress damage on the hellion. We get into another fight here. And if you notice so far, this party is impeccable at doing large amounts of damage. And I'm getting lucky with the surprise rounds because I can use this magnitude of power I have to just annihilate typically the mid rows very well. And once again, I focus the stinger and the piranha wide mouth or swordsman because they're going to be the ones doing a lot of the damage. And then they're going to hit the plated maggot just because I can. I'm going to bleed tick that out so the body can move forward. The body of the stinger is also going to move forward, making these two in the front row, right where my powerhouse is. My powerhouse actually is mostly in the rows 2 and 3 with this party composition, but having them in the first 2 rows isn't bad either. I'm actually going to manacles here because it's really the only thing I can do without going into the abomination mode and raking the front 2 rows there. But I decided stress damage isn't that bad, and I just want to stun the swordsman because I may not have killed him with the rake ability. And it also would have added a lot of stress to everybody and just a couple of individuals. Once again, he's stunned, and he's also blighted, so he'll die next turn, so obviously I'm going to wild hack the Oracle here. The Oracle's dead. Any turns I get here can either be stress reducing, healing, whatever have you. So I'm going to heal and reduce stress. -9 takes me down to 18. I'm also going to do Cry Havoc. Once again, this party is amazing at recovering from stress. Even though Cry Havoc literally did nothing there, this party is amazing at reducing stress on themselves. Just not so much in the heal department. Obviously, the Wide Mouth dies to Blight. We get some decent loot for not even having the torch really down that low. To finish off this dungeon, we're just going to have one more area come up. I'm going to pop some food, torches, and all that before I go in. Or I should have popped some food. Looking back on it now, that was a big mistake. I should have taken off the trap debuff on my Hellion, and I should have just given her some food. But I actually, at the time, I didn't know that's was going to be my last battle room, so maybe I was saving it. Hindsight is obviously better than when you're in the moment. If I knew this was the ending, I might have done it, but anywho, that's a different story. Now what we're going to do is, once again, we're trying to stack a lot of DOT on rows 2 and 3. I'm really mad that the cultist there actually resisted, because that was going to be some nice damage on DOT I was going to get on her. We do get the Blight on her, but right now, it would have been Blight and Bleed, so she'd be taking more damage than she is. But she is actually going to tick out to the bleed damage, which is okay. But, you know, you don't want your DOTs to be resisted because DOT damage abilities aren't exactly the highest. Now we have 2 individuals in DOT out. Obviously, the cultist just went down, and the cultist in front went down. Now we just have 2 individuals. I'm going to once again try to stun the Wide Mouth because he is the main damage dealer. And boom, I get another stun. I do like the Abomination for stuns in the Bile. I don't actually use the Abomination that much for his form. There's a couple of times I will. And one of those times is actually the Shambler, because I get rid of the 2 things in front of the Shambler, but that's another discussion. Another huge mistake I'm doing here is I'm not using a medicinal herb to take off that trap debuff. I look at it now and I'm like, oh yeah, that probably is hurting me a lot. I don't know why I missed that. I don't know why I went over a couple of times. It's some pretty bad awareness from me on that fact. I mean, the fight went okay because this party's really good. And now I'm going to use the Mark just to reduce some of that protection, because he also had the protection from the earlier rounds. And I also don't know why I didn't finale. I guess I didn't want the Jester going to the back row. If you have the ability to record yourself, sometimes it might be beneficial, because once again, I didn't get rid of it. I just keep looking at it, keep forgetting. I think I'm trying to move quickly so I don't take too much time on the video. But definitely make sure you get rid of bad debuffs. Make sure you look at why you make decisions in the moment and all that. So that was 4 fights. The party composition appeared to work really well. Where I think this party would have fell apart is if I took a lot of damage. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe below.